Welcome to Late Night Chat with Leslie and JT, episode 141. Where's my music now? That would help, JT. Leslie, what's going on?
What's going on? What's Hello.
Oh, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, Leslie? Still, the fuck's
it
going on
going?
with this thing? Let's hope we don't crash today, guys. I had it working good for a second. Now, who the fuck knows what's gonna happen? Yeah, it is what it is with this fucking internet. I guess it's the weather out. The weather outside is frightful. So we'll have to go by that word. Can you hear me good though?
I can hear you great. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's going. It's jumpy, but I think it's my end because I don't know what. Like I said, I have this fucking internet is really been pissing me
You're just going
off
through
lately,
technical
guys.
difficulties.
As usual, right?
The usual, yeah. It's okay. Sometimes I go through them
look,
too.
See, I froze up again there. See?
Yeah.
Okay,
That
guys.
was the intro to the Scream movie, guys. Just in case
Yeah, it
you were
was, yeah.
wondering why we picked that intro song. Ah, yes, Julie.
Yeah, bite me, Julie. It's not Halloween yet. Hey, but hey guys, welcome back. Fuck, with another. We're trying to get this thing all figured out, and Leslie's got as you can see, Leslie's got a new little setup there, and unfortunately, with our we've been streaming too much. I think this month it's kind of been messing with the storage, so I had to do this. Otherwise, it was going to fuck everything up. So I figured something out. I got it working, and let's just go with that and go with the flow. And you're probably gonna see me cut in and out because I see my internet signal is kind of crappy right now. But we'll see what happens. As long as you guys can hear me, Leslie, let me know when I'm fucking up or freezing up. But
I can hear you.
that's all that matters.
Yes,
As long
Julie,
as you can hear me.
Definitely. JT's got to dress up for a Halloween show.
How about, you know what, Julie? You stay out of there, okay? I don't need your jibber jabber this fucking day.
You don't, I do. I love it. Yes, Julie, someone on my side.
Yeah, I bet you love it, you guys.
I do.
It's like, let's bust JT's balls today. It's like, let's everybody just bust JT's balls. Why not, right? But
if anyone guesses, I'm getting. Honestly, I have looked everywhere for the Scream mask, and I couldn't find one anywhere. And when I tried to look to order it online, it wouldn't have come on time before this podcast, so there was no point. So I just thought I'd, dig into my Halloween bins because I've got a shitload of costumes And today I decided to be the whole Harry Potter theme. You know, the Harry Potter glasses, the hat.
That's not a nice word to use there, Neeks, but it's all right. Yeah, you could put SOB. I know that. I speak millennial sometimes, right? Um, so how's it going, everybody? Okay, so we're doing, as you know, we're back here on our killer content, and we're got Leslie here talking about the the Gainesville Ripper, and I hope everybody she'll get into on how what why he has the name and who he actually is. Um, but I had a few things I just wanted to get off the off the cuff in the beginning of the show before I lose internet. I lose fucking who knows, right? This fucking weather out there today, like a fucking ice cold fucking tornado, whatever the hell's going on. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know, guys. Thanks for everybody tuning in again, and hopefully you guys could check this on the replay. I know I didn't think I was gonna make it today. I made it. I got it all figured out. We figured it out, and it's time to do our thing. And Leslie's been waiting for this one, I think, for a little while now because it is closer to Halloween. But we have this show that'll be airing again tomorrow. Okay, so this will be up right after it airs tonight. Hopefully, everything runs good and everything like that. So it'll be up tomorrow for everybody's listening pleasure if they can't stay awake tonight. But Wednesday, guys, don't forget if you guys want to tune in, we're doing live cracking packs, live fucking late night with the chat. And we have a special guest on that one because it's our Halloween episode, and it's the wonderful Christine. She's going to be joining her sidekick Nico and me, right, to do the review of Trick or Treat, and it's just an hour in the middle. So don't look for Trick or Treat or fucking whatever because you ain't gonna find shit. But it's the one with just R. If you guys want to look it up and maybe follow along with it, see what happens, right? We'll be doing that one live at I'm pretty sure it's 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. I'm just double checking right now, but yeah, it's for 8:30. Okay, I was close. I was in between there. So we're gonna do that one live at 8:30. That'll be on Wednesday this week. Sorry, Wednesday, yeah, the 27th of this week. Then following that, on the 28th, they're gonna have a special cracking packs with Peter, and on the show with Peter, Nico, and I don't know, Christine. I think they're gonna be doing all Pokemon cards. It's a celebration one for his actual birthday's coming up, so they're gonna do like a little get together sort of thing. So it'll be great. You guys should tune into that one. And I'm not sure exactly what time that one's going to be at, but probably around between 8 and 9, as it usually is. So just it'll be posted up in the on the Instagram page, all that fun stuff, right? It'll be posted so everybody will know at a later date. You'll hear everything. But also on Sunday we got the Halloween show with me and Rob, so that should be interesting too. We'll see. I'm going to dress up as Rob, and Rob's going to dress up as me, and we're good to go. So that'll be interesting too. So just guys, we got a shitload of stuff coming out this week for everybody. So just keep tuning in. And like I said, it's always everything. There's always new content being uploaded and shit every day. So it's great. Just keep tuning in and keep watching them. And we still love you guys for all that shit. So keep making us happy by tuning in. But other than that, I mean, that's for the content wise. That's what we've got going. Last week we had the few that you guys got to see last week. I think you got to see. I was on last week. We were all on. Me and Julie did the TikTok. Go back and review that one. That would be great. I actually called her Leslie at the end. So I don't know if she noticed that.
It's hilarious. You know why? Because we're the only two women on the show. Well, and three.
Break my balls. Christine. That's what it is.
That's right. Because you do not know how to. Never. We won't get into that. I'm going to have to bite tongue on that one because, there's enough crazy shit going on with serial killers and the way they treat women. I don't have to compare to you.
Aw, I was trying to be compared.
Oh, yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you too. Okay, so, yeah, but without further ado, why don't we just get right into it, Leslie? And this one looks like it's going to be quite an interesting one, and it's going to be, I'm guaranteeing we're pushing 2 hours, even more on this one if we could do it. It's just the stuff that that is involved in this one is a little bit nuts. And I didn't know too much about this Gainesville Ripper. So when you start bringing stuff up, I'll have some interesting questions and stuff on that one because, you know, it is interesting, to be honest with you. So, but yeah, without further ado, guys.
You see that?
Did it come on? Where is it? Did it show up?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see it on my screen, bro. I don't even know if it showed up, Leslie. Did it actually show up on the screen?
Try it again. Pretty sure it did.
It? No, I muted you, not me. Uh-oh. Did you get it? Why are you muted, though? You see? It's okay. I got you. It's okay. Leave it. I can hear you. No, I can't. What the fuck is going on with this thing? Don't leave. I'll be right back. Can't hear you. Lost you. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know, man. This is tripping me out. I don't know. Yeah, you leave. Can you guys hear me now, at least? Somebody tell me in the fucking chat if you can hear me, because this is what's fucking killing me now. Oh. There, you can hear me now, can you?
I can hear you. I heard you the whole time. But for some reason you couldn't hear me?
I think we were in two different kind of stream weird things. I think you had to log off too, because I did. I don't know. It was weird.
Oh, okay.
It's working now, guys. My internet's
so
back.
You're saying that your technical difficulties are now causing my technical difficulties?
Yeah. It's a good argument for your cousin. Exactly. You know what? I'll tell you right now, your cousin's going to bust my balls. She's going to say, oh, look, Leslie's setup was good. And fucking now JT's. But no, I got to work it. Don't worry. Look. There you go. Please stand by. I'm going to show you fucking please stand by, man.
Oh, no, I want to see that. What are you going to be such a ding-dong for? Oh, fuck. JT, seriously.
Fucking thing, man. It killed me. You guys are killing me over there. Making me fucking sweat just to fucking get this shit going. No, just to get it going, making me sweat like a mule.
Oh yeah.
And my fucking cord keeps coming out of my headphones. Guys,
you know, guys, I think pretty soon.
This is why.
One day.
Oh my God, where the fuck is this thing?
Hey, one day, JT. Yeah.
Keep going, man. I'm here. I can't hear you, but I'll be back. I'm here. The fucking.
Okay, one day.
There we go.
You guys are going to be doing. One day you guys are going to be doing a podcast without me on serial content, and it'll be Nico and somebody else, and they will be investigating your murder.
Oh, I know. I'm pretty sure it'll probably be Nico. So check Nico out or you. I'm pretty sure it'll be one of you two guys. So
it's guys, probably. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've got some ideas here on how to bury you.
You got me in the mood now. There we go. I'm good to go. You know what? Good. It all started with the confusion of using too many friggin' hours already because we record so much content on this show, and it wouldn't let me record the broadcast.
Blah. And then we never get into the show. Can we just go into the Killer Cotton here?
Killer Cotton? Killer Cotton? What's Killer Cotton?
Content. content. Sorry. I was trying to speak too fast, expressing what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I love you. I'm just joking with you, Leslie. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm ready. Now let me hear this thing. I want to hear it again, guys, because I never got to hear it last time. And you guys got all to see it and hear it. And I didn't because right. All right. See, there we go. Now we're back and ready to roll. Right now. Here we go. It's only 15 minutes in.
Good Lord.
Hey, considering all the
let's
running I've been doing, let's do it.
Can I start?
Go ahead, Leslie. Go ahead. I gotta drive you a little crazy. You've been driving me crazy.
Oh my God, you're so fucking annoying.
It's our show, guys. It's coming. Let's go. All right, get into it. Go ahead.
Right.
I'm here. I'm here with you.
All right. So, without further ado, this is a story that inspired the Scream movies. And if no one's ever seen the Scream movie, I'm sure you've seen the mask. It's that ghost face mask. GC, you can pull up that picture.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Give me a second. He didn't tell me to have it ready right this second. But yeah, go ahead. Keep speaking.
Oh, you're going to have to pull up his picture too right after. So we can do a side-by-side comparison if you could do that.
All right. Let's do it. Hold on. Give me a sec. Keep talking. I'm here. You want to see the Scream one? Oh, here it is.
Leslie. Yeah, the Scream one first.
Yeah.
Which everybody should be familiar with.
It's so cute, though, guys. You want to see it? It's so cute, isn't it?
But that's the scary movie version of it. But yeah, but his droopy eyes, right? Yeah. And now you gotta show us the real killer on that pic.
On the other, hold on.
Yeah, the real guy. And this is Danny Rolling. So that whole face thing was inspired by this guy's face because his eyes droop that way. They're all. It doesn't matter what kind of facial expression this guy is doing. I've seen some of his videos. They're always that way. He's just the droopy eye guy. So it was pretty interesting. Yeah. So this is not the only reason that or the only thing that inspired the Scream movie. The way he killed and certain things he did also inspired the killer content in the movie, right? But without further ado, this is the story of Mr. Danny Rolling, and he's the Gainesville Ripper.
Yeah.
Didn't go into too much of his early life because it's just kind of it's not that it's boring, but it's just your typical serial killer intro to life, you know? He was born on May 26, 1954 in Shreveport, Louisiana. So yeah, he does talk with a little twang, actually a big Southern twang. And his mother was Claudia Rolling, and she was severely abused by her husband verbally, physically, and the kids were too. The father was James Rolling. He was actually a Shreveport police officer by day, and by night, abusive motherfucker. Shreveport, he beat his wife, he beat his kids. Yeah, tell me about it. He just to give you an example of how evil this cop was. He brought home a puppy once and beat it on a regular basis till it eventually one day died in Danny's arms when Danny was 5. I mean, that's how much of a motherfucking prick this guy was. So horrible. Danny was so regularly abused by his father that at 15, he tried to commit suicide by slitting his wrist. And on the mirror with his mother's lipstick, he wrote, "I tried, but I can't make it." He dropped out of high school and he enrolled in, it's pretty sad shit, but I don't feel sorry for this motherfucker. He dropped out of high school and enrolled in the military only to be discharged for alcohol and drug abuse. He stole a bike, and that's how he got caught being drunk and high during his service.
Oh, yeah.
After he was discharged, yeah, I know. But most idiots, after he was discharged from the military, he made his way back to Shreveport And of course, he finds Jesus in a Pentecostal church. I
What's he
found
doing at a
Jesus.
What's he doing at a Pentecostal church?
I I left the military. I'm not doing any more drugs. I'm not doing any more alcohol. I left the drink.
Yeah.
No more Tennessee whiskey for me. And I found Jesus. And it was all thanks to the Great Pentecostal Church of Louisiana in Shreveport here. At church,
Yeah.
he meets his wife, and her name is O'Mather Halco. O'Mather is a very Irish name, right?
I was gonna say, what it sounds like it's got to be a very like an English. I guess I wouldn't think Irish. I was thinking maybe Scottish or something like that. I don't know, but
Yeah, maybe Scottish, right? But like, he's definitely from there.
No, yeah, that's it. Tell Fran to bite me.
Fran, JTC spiked him. At church, when he found Jesus, he also found a wife. Her name was O'Mather Halco, and O'Mather was a petite, dark-haired woman, and they married in 1974.
You could have played his wife.
Huh?
You could have actually played his wife.
Me?
As dressing up.
No. I'm not as petite as she was, and she's got mid-length, short brown hair. I got like really fucking long hair.
You could have gave you a haircut for sure.
Oh, fuck off. O'Mather, in 1975, O'Mather had their first daughter, and her name was Kylie. Now, I didn't go into too much of his daughter's life, just because I think, the kid's innocent, can't keep paying for dad's sins, right? So let's let her live her life in peace, right? It's horrifying enough to have a serial killer as a father. Let's let her live her life. After 3 years of marriage, Danny falls off the wagon again and starts doing drugs and drinking. He starts disappearing for days on binges, and his lonely wife looks for love in someone else. And Danny finds out. He threatens to kill her lover, and that's when she says she's had enough and leaves Danny, and he never sees his wife and daughter again. And then Danny decides to start his criminal career.
Hey, wait a second. Whose fault?
Yes.
Whose fault was it? His wife's?
None of my business. It happened. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I tried to get you stirred up. Sorry.
They're both in the wrong. All right. But it's none of my business. And she dodged a motherfucking bullet.
She did. I'll give you that much.
She could have been his first victim.
Yeah, she should have.
Fuck off.
Okay, come on. You knew that was coming. Come on.
Oh my God. I swear to God. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. JT will not be in any more serial killer content because we will not be able to find his body next time.
It's that first murder.
No, he will be on the cover of every milk carton out there somewhere.
Yeah.
And if anyone rats me out, they're next.
Love you, Leslie. Go on. Let's get it. Let's do this. Let's get into the first murder. First murder is 24-year-old JT.
No. We got to start in the beginning, right? He's robbing people. Okay. And Danny decides to fuck up his life even more and becomes a drifter. He starts committing robberies in Louisiana, Georgia, and Alabama. And supermarkets, for some reason, were his favorite targets. He finally gets caught in Columbia, Georgia for robbing a supermarket of $956. And he's sentenced to 6 years. In prison, the others called him psycho because he got really beefed up by working out impulsively. So he became really working out.
Yeah, probably scared and shit like that, right? I mean, you try
yeah,
to do that
but
kind of
he went psycho over it, from what other prisoners say. Once he once he leaves prison, he continues his career as a robber and gets put back in jail in 1985. He asks the judge, instead of putting me back in jail, just cut off my hands. So he literally asks the judge, says, well, don't put me in jail, just cut off my hands, you know? That way I won't steal anymore. I won't do these sins anymore, and I'll find Jesus again. I only need my knees to pray. Right? Like, literally.
What would you do? How would you masturbate? Sorry.
Yeah.
That'd make it even more psycho. Go on.
But you know what? Had the judge listened to him and cut off his motherfucking hands, I don't think he'd ever become a murderer.
It's so true. You know, actually, you know, if you really sit back and think about it, I bet you that judge is fucking kicking himself in the ass right now.
That judge is saying, I should have cut that motherfucker's hand. Instead, the judge opted to send him to a Mississippi prison. Here, psychologists describe him as having an impulsive personality and he's emotionally immature. Sorry, guys. After 4 years, he's out of prison again and makes it back to Shreveport, Louisiana, where he moves in with his mom and dad again. He finds a job at a restaurant named Poncho's. Apparently, Poncho's is huge in the U.S. I've never heard of it, but okay. Yeah. On November 4th, 1989, he's fired from Poncho's, and let's just say that this is when Danny decided to change his status from robber to murderer. And
how do you change your status? How do you, I guess you just switch over. I like how that came out. He changed his status from robbery to murder. I think it was his motive of operation. It went from robbery to murder.
No, he was a robber, and now his status no longer says robber on Facebook. It now says murderer.
Well, yeah, obviously, because they always pick, I think, the highest crime you've done, right? Fuck. I mean, he's literally robbed $900. Like, honestly, you know, that was maybe back then that was a nice, pretty penny, especially. But I mean, $900 and you got
man, this wasn't even that long ago. This all happened in like the 80s, and then he finally got caught in 1990. Shut up. We're not that old.
Oh.
All right. So here come the first murders. 24-year-old Julie Grissom was working at a department store in Shreveport's Southside Mall. Mm-hmm. Unbeknownst to her, she was being watched. On her way home, she was followed by an enraged, sick Danny who just got fired from motherfucking Ponchos for being a dumbass.
Motherfucking Ponchos.
I
don't think they can use ponchos now. I think it's too racist to say that.
I don't know. Once she's home, Danny breaks in, kills her 55-year-old father, Tom, and her nephew, Sean, who was only 8 years old. Mm-hmm. Sean was visiting with his grandfather and aunt for the weekend. Danny stabbed Tom first and left his body by the utility room. He then stabbed Sean in the chest while Sean watched cartoons on TV. He then proceeds to tape Julie's mouth and wrists. He rapes Julie, stabs her to death. Once he's finished, he washes the bodies down with vinegar and proceeds to pose Julie's body, where her body hung half down off the bed, spread, with her legs spread, and her hair fanned out neatly above, making it very sexually provocative position. On the Monday, the school called Sean's mom to notify her that he didn't make it to school. And after not being able to get hold of Tom and Julie, she calls the police. When the detective gets there, he sees the horrific scene laid out before him and notices bite marks all over Julie's breasts as well. The police investigate, but no suspects are found, and the town is left living in fear.
Well, fuck. That's just kind of like, you know, if you think about it, that is a pretty horrific scene. If you would think of just walking, what with the vinegar? I'm not a whole bunch. I'm not really sure what's.
Well, vinegar cleans. right? So he used the vinegar to clean off the DNA from her body.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
At least he was nice and didn't use bleach.
Well, she was dead. It's not like she would felt anything.
I
He
know.
did all of this post mortem,
Yeah.
except the raping part. About 6 months later, Danny and his parents get into an argument because Danny's dad asked him to roll up the car window because of the rain. Like, hey, motherfucker, you left the car window open outside and it's fucking raining.
Mm-hmm.
Danny just had enough of his fucking dad's abuse
Mm-hmm.
that he turns to his dad and shoots his dad in the stomach and the head. This motherfucker, his father, who I'm also calling a motherfucker, survives but loses an ear and an eye. You know? That same night, he breaks into a couple's home and steals he steals a whole $21 and tells them that he needs the money to go to Dallas. His car is found abandoned the next morning and he's long gone. So he didn't kill the couple. He just walked right in there and robbed a whole $21 from them to get on the Greyhound bus.
Well, but he actually told them that he needed it to go to Dallas. So I mean, you know,
I don't know.
it's not really robbery if you tell them, is it? Well, I guess if they don't let you.
Well, I don't know. If Robert comes here, I say take money, leave me alive. You know, like fuck that.
It's just
Danny
weird,
finally makes it. Yeah, I know. But the fact that he shoots his dad in the head and the stomach, and that guy survives, like, what are the fucking odds?
You know what? In
Yeah,
the head is one of those things that you can get shot in and still survive if it doesn't hit certain areas. It's kind of weird, right? It could kill you in one shot if you're shot in the right spot, but if you're not, I mean, you can live, which is kind of scary.
Yeah. Well, I guess, you know, for such an asshole that his father was, like an abusive fucking piece of shit, losing an eye and an ear and having to live like that is still not enough of what the guy deserves.
Yeah.
His dad deserves. You know, Danny eventually obviously gets what he deserves too, but I mean, like, you know, fuck that motherfucker. I don't feel sorry for his dad either. Danny finally makes it to Gainesville, Florida. He rents out a room in a motel, but also makes a campsite outside in the woods.
Was it a shotgun you think he used? Because I didn't really actually see that. Was it a shotgun? If he used a shotgun, it would kill them, I think.
I don't know what kind of gun that he used.
Yeah.
But I know that the guy lost an ear and an eye, and he got he got a shot in the stomach too. So I mean, like.
Yeah, so maybe it was like a
know.
shotgun on this side, like, you know, just sprayed him.
Yeah, probably. Well, when Danny finally makes it to Gainesville, Florida, he rents out a room in a motel, but this guy is so strange. He also makes a campsite out in the woods. Now, Gainesville in Florida is surrounded by woods, like there's some swamp and some forest around, and it's Florida State University town. So it's like a college town. There's nothing but college students in that area, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Depending on what's in their stomach.
Yeah. I don't know. And when he gets to Gainesville, for some reason, he gets a hotel room and he gets a campsite. He makes this whole campsite out in the woods, and he gets a hotel room too. So, like, I don't quite understand what his thought process was throughout all of this, and he never explained it, but that's what he did, right? He makes it to he makes it to a nearby Walmart, and while he's buying some supplies, he spots his next victim. 18-year-old. No, man. It's like he got a taste in Louisiana. He got a taste for rape and murder in Louisiana out of rage, and I think he liked it. That the minute he made it down to Florida, boom, let's get the party started again, right? And it didn't take him very long. In fact, the next murderers all happened within a week.
That's crazy.
So 18-year-old Sonia Larson and 17-year-old Christina Powell, both freshmen at the University of Florida. They rented an apartment outside campus together along with a third freshman girl. They were out at the Walmart buying new things for their new place and had no idea that they were being watched several aisles away by a man who was holding the very items he was going to use to assault, rape, and murder them. The items were a screwdriver, a roll of duct tape, and 2 pairs of gloves. He already had a knife. And it was the same knife that he used in the military that he carried around with him everywhere. They make their way back to their place completely oblivious that their murderer follows them. They go about their night cleaning up, showering, eating, setting the place up with their earlier purchases, and outside, Danny, in a ski mask and gloves, watches them. Yeah, and a dildo. Yeah. No, he's not the toy box killer, Neeks. He's not the toy box killer.
He's thinking of what he's going to do to me. That's what he is. He's thinking of what he's going to do. Nico's just, kind of thinking of what he's going to do to me. When he decides to make me disappear.
Oh, fuck.
He's going to shove it in my mouth and just suffocate.
Jeez.
Whoa.
So while they're doing all of this, Danny's outside watching them. Like he just camped out there, right? And he has a ski mask and he's got his gloves on, and he's waiting and he's fantasizing of his horrific crime. And at 3 a.m., they're finally asleep, and he decides it's finally time to make his move. With the screwdriver in tow, he creeps up to their second-floor apartment and uses it to break in. He looks over to the couch, and there lies Christina, sound asleep. He watches her for a while, but lets her be. He doesn't wake her up.
That's like, I'm just laughing.
The third roommate, the third roommate escaped. Like, she had gone out for the night. So that was what saved her life. She decided to go party. And as he watches Christine for a while, he lets her sleep, but he doesn't wake her. So he moves up to Sonia's bedroom. As she sleeps, he wakes her up, taping her mouth and wrists to keep her quiet. He rapes her violently and then turns her over onto her stomach and repeatedly stabs her till she succumbs to her death. He then moves down to Christine, who's sleeping on the couch. He wakes her up, tapes her mouth and wrists just like he did Sonia, and he uses a knife to terrorize her and slice off her clothes. He removes the tape from her mouth and forces her to perform oral sex on him. He then proceeds to rape her, turn her over like he did his other victim, and stabs her to death. Once he's done, he makes his way to the fridge because he's worked out an appetite and eats a banana and an apple.
Well, he's trying to stay healthy.
Well, he needs a snack. That was a lot of work, right?
Potassium, right? You got to get your potassium up again.
Motherfucker.
Question, though. Quick question on that one. If he's forcing somebody to perform oral sex, I don't know, like, can't you just bite down?
You got a knife to your throat.
Well, you're going to fucking die anyways.
She doesn't know that.
But if she bites him, she can run while he's crying over his dick.
She doesn't know that.
I know. I mean, I would if I could,
and
if I had that
up,
opportunity.
Remember? She's tied up. You're gross. Shut up.
Think about it, but I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, if you're in that scene and
if you have a knife, look, this guy, she's terrified. She's fucking 18 years old. She's tied up. She's just got her clothes completely ripped off by a military knife. And he's holding a knife against her, saying, "Suck my dick." Like, do you honestly think that she's going to think about biting it She's not. The poor girl is terrified. Terrified.
But if,
You don't know what goes on.
I
Maybe
know.
some women would.
I know.
Some
I'm just
women
wondering. I'm
would,
trying to
and they
think
would
how.
risk it.
Yeah.
Some women would, and they would risk it, right?
Yeah.
But other women wouldn't. Like you don't know what the state of mind is at that point. You know, some people are just so terrified. You don't know what the state of mind of a victim is at that point.
I get it. I would just think it's a fight or flight sort of response. You know what I mean?
For some,
Yeah.
others
Yeah.
get
I'm
paralyzed
not
with
trying to
fear.
be like dirty about it. I'm just
Yeah,
wondering,
I
like,
know. I'm just trying to explain.
Yeah.
Your answer. For some,
Yeah.
you're right.
Mm.
Bite off this cock and try to make a run for it, right?
Mm.
But for other people, like you just fear, you freeze in fear. So you don't know what's going on, and every victim is different,
Mm.
right? You don't know how their brain functions in a situation like that. It's always quite different.
True.
Once he's done with his snack, he goes back to the victims, washes them down with detergent this time.
No comment. Fuck, guy.
And he poses them in sexually explicit poses with their legs bent at the torso. So he's constantly creating these sexual scenes after he
Like a
murders.
snapshot in his fucking head after, eh?
Yeah. It escalates. The scene escalates. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know, like
And he
this?
poses them
This sounds like I've heard it from somewhere else. Like another serial killer had done this too.
Well,
in the colleges, remember? Who was it? Oh, it was fucking Kemper, wasn't it? He had the two college girls.
yeah, but he didn't. He only posed his mother's head to be looking up.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, in the same sort of thing, like it was almost like an attack at a college dorm, like in a sense, right?
He was the the college, like your
Co-ed
typical co-ed killer, right?
Yeah,
But this
yeah.
guy, this is what also compares to Scream, right?
Okay.
I don't know how long it's been since you've watched the movie, but like in Scream, some of the bodies are posed by the killer.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's Scream 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, I think it's been a while. Like, I mean, since those ones first came, like since they originally came out, I don't think I was one of those ones I've rewatched, right? So,
yeah,
but I get you.
The way he poses them in a sexually explicit position is with their legs bent at the torso. Christina's parents,
wide open, really, is basically what they're kind of saying.
Right, and they're bent. So, like, instead of being laid out, he bends their legs up at the hips.
Yeah, I get you.
And the knees and stuff, and spreads them open.
Position. Yeah, fuck, that's kind of crazy, when you think about it. I'm just trying to get a visual of what, how it would, like, just to sit there and do that afterwards.
Yeah, and with the first one, right? He fans out her hair too on the bed.
He's fucking nuts. Okay, this is only
this
is only the first sets, man. This is it's gonna get crazy, guys.
Yeah, it escalates, and like I said, these murders happened within a week.
Yeah, that's the scary
part.
Just went how fast.
Yeah, so like the first one happened in Louisiana, and then 6 months later, he's in Florida, and he does all of these. And
it's just week after, during the week. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Christina's parents were supposed to meet them the next day, but they couldn't get a hold of them because they still hadn't set up a phone at their new place. So remember, like, they were moving into this new place. It's not like everybody had cell phones in 1990, right? I mean, or 1989. Nobody had, like, cell phones, right? Unless you were, like, the guy from fucking Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Zach Morrison had that big old clunky one, right? So their phone line wasn't set up at their house yet, right?
Yeah.
So they asked a family friend who lived in the town to go check on them. When they get there, there's no response at the door. So the worried parents call the police. The parents meet the police at their daughter's apartment, and the manager is called to come with their spare key. But the lock was damaged because he entered it with a screwdriver. He broke in with a screwdriver. So the investigator had to actually break down the door to get, he didn't break down the door. That was the next one. The police ended up having to break in through the side window. And he says that the minute he broke in through the side window, the stench, remember, this is Florida. So it doesn't take more than a few hours for bodies to start smelling because of the humidity and the heat that goes on there, right?
And in the 80s, not everybody had AC that readily available for themselves. Like it was expensive. It was a lot more expensive probably in the late 80s than it is now to own. Like it, I mean, central air. Maybe down there it might have been a little different, but I mean, all it takes is you to turn it off. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Maybe I'm spoiled, but I've always had AC.
Yeah, but you know, and it's not like we even need it because we only have a few months of the year up here. I know. I know
Oh,
we
but those are
complain when
some
it's cold.
those are some horrid, humid months, man. Like
I
we
think.
need ACs. I mean, when it's cold here,
Mhm.
but when it's hot, it's fucking hot.
Yeah.
Um. So and he starts panicking. You know, he's got the parents downstairs waiting for news, and the minute the smell hits him, he knows right away there's something fucked up going on.
Mhm.
He gets in, he looks around, and he's horrified at the scene before his eyes. And he lets the parents, who are still sitting in the bottom of the building steps, know that their daughters lie murdered in their apartment. The investigators start pouring in and they investigate the crime scene. During their investigation, they get a call from their office, from the police
Mhm.
office, letting them know that they have another crime scene that needs to be investigated as well. So you just found these bodies. It's within the first 24 hours. You're combing through, trying to find, fingerprints, because the first 24 hours
Evidence.
of the crime scene
48
are the most crucial to get as much
evidence.
information and DNA as you possibly can. And
Mhm.
again, remember this is the 90s, so DNA isn't as advanced as it is today. Like
Mhm.
fingerprints and semen are pretty much it, right? So
Mhm.
it's like it it's fucked up. You're like, okay,
Brutal.
this is the most gruesome scene I've ever seen. I just have to throw up outside because I've never seen anything like this, and now I'm
Mhm.
fucking getting a call and you're telling me there's another one.
Mhm.
So yeah, and this is how the next murder happened, which was exactly 24 hours after the first one. 18-year-old Krista Hoyt was leaving her job at the sheriff's office
Mhm.
where she worked for the records department. On her way, Danny follows her. He watches her walk in and sets up camp outside. He watches her all night as she eats, showers, and makes her way out. When she leaves, he bends over the fence through the side of the house and with his trusty screwdriver breaks into the house. Once he's inside, he waits and he waits till the next morning at 11 a.m. when she finally walks into the door. So, like, he waited all and sat all night in her house. So he watched her get ready,
Mhm.
watched her in the evening, and
Mhm.
then he decided to go inside and wait for her to come back. At 11 a.m. the next morning, she finally walks in the door. He comes from behind, holds her in a chokehold, and subdues her. Once she's subdued, he duct tapes her mouth and wrists and takes her to her bedroom. With his knife, he cuts off her clothes and he violently rapes her. Sorry, I missed the sheet here. He, then, like all the other victims, he turns over and stabs her from behind, puncturing her heart.
Mhm.
He leaves this time right after back to his campsite. When he gets there, he says, huh, I fucking forgot my wallet over there. Silly me. And fucking,
Silly me.
oh well, gosh darn it. I gotta go back and get my wallet. And he's, and he makes his way back and he sees that the scene looks pretty boring.
Yeah.
And he is missing his personal artistic touch to it. So he's like, gosh darn it, what am I going to do here? There's a bookshelf in the other room, and there lies the body, and I didn't pose it this time. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna drag that bookshelf over to this room, and he does. He drags that bookshelf over to the room,
Okay.
and he grabs a knife. And again, this is like the Scream movie. He slices her open from the sternum all the way down to her groin, and he completely lets her guts flow out.
Yummy. That's kind of weird.
Wait, it gets worse. He decapitates her head and drags the bookshelf from the other room next to her bed,
Mhm.
where he places her head facing her body so that the head is looking at her dead body. Okay?
This guy's what?
Yeah. He cuts off her nipples.
Yeah, it's with the nipples.
And
What's with the
places
people
the-
cutting them off?
I don't
with
know, another
these-
Leatherface, man.
Yeah, like seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, he cuts off her nipples and places them side by side neatly on one side. He then proceeds to cut off her breasts, wraps them up like they're California sandwiches, ready for takeout, and places them on the other side of her body.
Uh-oh.
Why he does this, I don't know, but the only thing that I can think of is he has like some morbid, picturesque vision of art, of horrible art in his head, and he needs to do this. Like, he needs to set up a scene. Right?
Yeah, not the nipple belt. Not this time.
No nipple belt this time, though, man.
No, bro. I'll make you one. Don't worry.
Yeah. He grabs, it gets worse. He grabs mirrors that are placed all throughout the house, and he places them all around the scene that he created, so it gives it a magnifying effect.
I mean, he is artistic. I'm sorry. I mean, like, that's actually creative. I'm not trying to be sick about it. I'm just saying, in a weird way,
It is, but it's just
if they're
like,
using dummy bodies, it'd be creative, very creative.
right? Like, what do
Yeah.
you do with that? You know, like, I don't know. It's just the way his fucking mind works. Lastly, he washes down her body with detergent as well, just to rid off his DNA. You know.
Yeah, so he's starting to use detergent now. It's like, fuck
Well,
it.
he used detergent on the other ones too. The only one he didn't use detergent on was the first one in Louisiana. He used vinegar.
Yeah, down in Louisiana is probably poor, cheap,
Yeah,
just
down
easier to
by
get vinegar.
Bay,
Yeah, it's getting
where the watermelon grows.
vinegar down there is
Happy
just
Town.
the water that comes out of their fucking tap is the vinegar. Really, all their fucking sorry, Louisiana. Oh man,
Oh man.
it's a riverboat.
On the
fantasy,
25th, yeah, on the 25th of August, Krista's late for her shift, and her supervisor became immediately suspicious because she was always so punctual. She voices her concerns to the deputy, and the deputy makes his way to Krista's home. He knocks at first, and no one comes to the door, and he makes his way around the home, and that's when he notices the bent fence.
Mhm.
So then he makes his way to the side window facing it, and this window happens to be Krista's bedroom window. And he peeks through the blinds, and he sees this horrific. Can you imagine going to check in on someone
Yeah.
and just fucking opening, like looking through the blinds and seeing fucking mirrors everywhere, like a whole body with their head cut off, their knees bent at the waist, and their fucking head on a bookshelf staring at them. Their guts are spilt everywhere, and there are mirrors everywhere to magnify the whole fucking scene, just in case your eyesight was bad at looking at it regularly. Like,
It's
this
I
poor
don't
man.
know if the cop would. Yeah, these cops, like, after these scenes, some of these cops, I don't know how. I mean, how they don't have some sort of fucking. I guess they become numb to certain things, right? But I mean, fuck. This kind of stuff would make you not want to be a cop, I would think, anymore.
Some people can stomach certain things. I personally don't think I could stomach being a murder investigator. I couldn't.
No, it would be real. It's a real tough job. It's got to be.
Yeah. Authorities start comparing both crime scenes and realize there are some crazy similarities in both the crime scenes. Their bodies are posed, their underwear are stolen, they notice. So he also took little rewards for himself.
Souvenirs. Yeah.
Yeah, little souvenirs. And victims were all young women with mid length dark hair, and they were all sexually assaulted before that. So who else had mid length dark hair?
Who's that? His wife.
That's right, O'Mather.
So it kind of puts a theory to my theory starting to come to life.
Oh man, this motherfucker. Yeah, but you know what? The first victim that he killed, oh no, she was after O'Mather left him too. Yeah,
You know what I mean? So I mean, it's starting to kind of
yeah.
put my theory to you know to life. I mean,
Yeah,
like who
wait,
knows? We never know
that
what's
was
in their
their
fucking
theory.
head. Yeah,
That was their theory too, but he never admitted to that.
yeah. I wouldn't.
The media, of course, starts going nuts at this time, and all chaos breaks loose. Students start leaving their dorms, and they start going back to their homes. The gun sales start soaring. The parents start pulling their kids out of the schools. Other students start transferring to other schools. The students left started moving in together, sometimes 8 to 20 students in one dwelling. Like they're all at the whole university town is, you know, scared,
Scared
right?
shitless. Yeah.
The school put a 24-hour surveillance on all the sororities right away, and they upped the security throughout the school. And a task force is set up immediately, complete with FBI profilers,
Mhm.
and this quickly becomes the most expensive manhunt in Florida's history.
I can imagine. Well, at that time, at least for now,
Right. Because this is the early 1990s, DNA research was limited tool, and this time, which made the case much more challenging. And of course, all the unsolicited tips start coming through, where it became extremely difficult to keep up. Um, so like everybody's calling. Well, I think I know a guy. Well, I think I know a guy who might be doing this. Well, I think I know a guy, my ex-boyfriend, or my ex-girlfriend, or my ex, like, just all these tips. And but one of them actually almost throws the whole case out of its path. Um,
like railroads it,
yeah. And in the meantime, Danny's in need of more moolah,
of course.
so he channels his trusty robbery career. That's what he was doing before he decided to
I
murder
like how you
people.
put that one.
Oh
He,
yeah,
he
I'm a
channels
robber.
his
He
robbery
channels it.
career.
Okay, I need more money, and he decides to rob a bank this time. So fuck the supermarkets. He went straight to a bank,
And he's like,
and he
yeah, I
held the
don't
bank
want
at
21
gunpoint.
bucks.
Yeah, he robbed the bank at gunpoint,
Yeah.
and he takes off with the money. As the police are driving along, um, looking for the suspect that the bank described, they said, actually, he's a very polite man who held us up at gunpoint. He said, can you please give me that money bag, please? And I said, okay, sir, please don't kill me. Why, ma'am, I'd never do something like that. And he got that gun, and he just walked right out with the bag of money, and I didn't know what else to do. But officer, let me let you know what that man looks like, okay? I will tell you, besides being extremely polite, looked like a man of Jesus, okay?
Yeah.
He had these droopy eyes. They just looked so sad.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to do with them. And he had short hair. And officer, don't be too hard on him. He seems a little mentally ill.
You missed your
Okay.
calling, Leslie. You should have been an actress. It works for you.
I can't do many accents well, but I can do a good Southern one, I think.
It works. If you were dressed up as a hillbilly in a rocking chair right now, he'd pull it off, man. I'm telling you. Sorry. Guys, man. This is Leslie's profession taking off right here, man, with those fucking accents, voiceovers. Anybody need them? You got them right here. Yeah.
So as
Wow.
the police are driving around and they're looking for the suspect that these, bank people, describe as a very nice man who
Yeah.
robbed our bank with droopy eyes, right? They
True.
actually
Yes.
see him on the side of the road with another man talking.
Wow.
And one looks a lot like the description they were given from the robbery. They quickly chase him down.
Mhm.
While one of the men makes it away, they're able to apprehend the other. They make over to the campsite where they find and see the dyed money bag, because when you rob money from the
The
bank,
bank. Yeah,
there's
they
that
put the
dye
thing
or
in it.
whatever that explodes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when they go to question the suspect, they apprehend. He gives them the name. The other guy was Michael J. Kennedy. Michael J. Kennedy is the alias that Danny is using at that time.
Mm-mm. Okay.
So he starts using an alias.
Okay.
Now, 2 days after the robbery, Danny breaks into another apartment belonging to 23-year-olds Tracy Pauls and Manny Tabuada. Manny and Tracy were roommates.
Mhm.
Manny was this like massive guy who used to play football. He was super tall, really muscular, right?
Mhm.
Um, and he used to be an amateur football player. But because Danny was stalking them, he knew he had to get rid of Manny first. So he makes his way to Manny's room and he stabs him as he sleeps by plunging a knife right through his stomach. And it comes out through his back. Manny wakes up, okay, to this whole fucking knife, you know, through his stomach,
Mhm.
and he starts physically attacking Danny with this knife through his stomach. Like some fucking crazy ass fucking scene
Okay.
from a fucking movie. This huge ass guy, much bigger than Danny, right, is fucking fighting with the guy after he got stabbed. Danny's able to take out the knife, and he has to stab him 31 times before Manny finally dies. Like, he stabbed him 31 times.
It's tiring too, eh?
Whew.
I would have been out of breath. I mean, that's fucking nuts.
Now,
31
at this
times.
time,
That's like
so
anger.
Manny and Tracy weren't romantically involved. They were just roommates.
Yeah.
And Tracy was in her room. She wakes up with a commotion. She runs down the hall to Manny's room to see what's going on and sees Danny stabbing him. So she runs back into her room and tries to barricade herself in her room so Danny doesn't come in. Danny's still able to come in and he like breaks down the door, gets to her face, and she looks right at him and says, "You're the one, aren't you?" And he goes, "Yep, I'm the one." Danny then ties her up with duct tape.
Mhm.
He then proceeds to act on his routine. He terrorizes her, rapes her, turns her around face down, and stabs her 3 times before she finally dies. Once she's dead, he drags her down the hallway and cleans her body up with detergent.
Mhm.
He poses her in a sexually provocative position again, with her knees bent down at the torso, and he places a white towel under her hips to accentuate the hip area and the pelvic area. With Manny's body, he doesn't touch it. There's like, he just doesn't touch it at all after, right?
He's got no
And
interest in seeing
he
that
just,
probably sexually in a
no,
pose. Yeah.
no. And he later admits that he had to kill Manny in order to be able to have, quote, have his way with Tracy.
Yeah. And it's just somebody that
Yeah.
got in his way, unfortunately.
Yeah. As
But
if it wasn't obvious before.
yeah.
Pardon?
No, that's crazy. But I mean, to overpower somebody bigger than him like that too.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I guess
gotta
maybe
when you have that kind of
when
rage,
he
you gotta
served in the
have some sort of
military,
maybe right. That could
you
have been
know?
it. I mean, but still, just somebody that's that much bigger than you. Let's say. I
Yeah.
mean, it can't be fun.
And that's another reference to Scream because remember the girl's like, "You killed my boyfriend. He was a football player."
Sorry, that was right at my
That was
ear.
another, yeah, that was like another reference there,
Yeah.
right?
I'm surprised you got all these
Um,
remembered all these references. It's been a while since I seen that one.
oh, I've watched those movies repeatedly. I love them,
Mm.
and they're so cheesy, but I love them. And
So,
I love the Wayne's Brothers version of it too, the scary movie when they make fun of all the Scream movies.
yeah. Oh,
Oh, that one was hilarious.
that's what I was typing up. Scary movie. It was funny instead of Scream when I was looking for the theme song.
Yeah,
That's why it wasn't coming up. I was dying.
yeah. So, as if it wasn't obvious before, investigators are clear now that this is a serial killer. Well,
Yeah.
duh.
Duh.
They have on their hands. Amongst all the tips they kept getting, one stood out. And the name was of 19-year-old Edward Lewis Humphrey. So everybody all these people kept calling in, and nobody was giving them Danny's name. Everybody just kept giving them Edward's name. So let me tell you some information about Edward. Edward had deep scars on his face from a previous accident. He was extremely mentally ill. He lived across the street at one point from Manny and Tracy, the last two victims here. And he was kicked out of that apartment complex because he was threatening people with knives and he was hailing Satan wherever he went. He regularly talked about murder and he wore camouflage and also camps out in the woods.
I mean, Louisiana, it's easy to camp out in the woods. That's the thing,
No,
Yeah.
no, this is Florida. This is
Oh, down in
Florida.
Florida. Yeah. Okay.
Well, all these murders happened in Florida except the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah. I thought
Right? So they haven't even connected the Louisiana murder yet to these.
to this one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where he's originally from. That's why they're talking about two different people now.
So the police were called to his 79-year-old grandmother's house after he assaulted her. Although she dropped the charges, police charged him anyway because they were adamant they thought this guy was their guy, right? And they were able to take a semen sample from him to test again against the other victims because Danny didn't remember to use a condom when he raped his victim.
Mm.
Sad.
He didn't
The
remember. I'm
judge,
pretty sure he didn't even remember, or he just, like, oh, robbed me $21. He got no money.
yeah, the judge set bail to $1 million
Mhm.
for Ed. Okay, and this whole time the family's coming on the news saying it's not Ed. Ed's innocent. He didn't do this, But because he had all this horrible background,
Mhm.
right? Everybody was so sure that he was him. Coincidentally, also, the killings at the same time he was charged with stopped. What they didn't know is they stopped because Danny was in jail too for another small robbery.
Mm.
But they had no idea that Danny was the killer. They thought Ed was. Once the DNA comes back, the results showed that they didn't match Ed. However, they did match someone else who was forced to give up their DNA. Danny motherfucking Rolling. But I didn't think he was the killer. Look at his droopy ass. No, man, I didn't kill nobody. Oh, no. Right? Like, seriously.
It's got my face. Like, I can do it.
Yeah, you kind of, yeah. Kind
Then
of.
I start laughing.
Yeah.
Then I
What's
start
another
laughing.
day? Then you'll start looking exactly like Ghostface. On September 7th, 1990, Danny was arrested for another burglary charge. When they tested his DNA, it matched. They made their way to the campsite that he previously had, and they found the murder and the assault weapon. They also found tapes that he made. So Danny wasn't just a visual artist, he was also a singer-songwriter. and he had tapes of his songs. And in a video soon, you'll see his talent because the story gets funny from here on out. Um, so they also found tapes that he made singing songs he wrote, and he also they were also voice diaries. So like said part of the crimes, although he didn't confess to the crimes entirely in the tapes, he did insinuate them through poetry and singing in the tapes, right? And when the cops asked him what his motive was, you know what he said? Well, I wanted to be like Ted Bundy. I like to kill people.
There you go. I mean, at least he's being honest,
He pled guilty to all charges on April 20th, 1994, and he was eventually sentenced to death. In prison, he was diagnosed with antisocial disorder, borderline personality disorder, and something called paraphilia. I've never heard of this. I know what it is because I've heard other terms for it, but sexually abnormal fetishes.
Yeah, fetishes, different. Yeah, that's where the fucking the post-mortem stuff comes into play.
Right. Well, they never confirmed post-mortem sex.
No, but I'm just saying maybe the posing and stuff like that, like the fetishes.
Yeah, probably getting off of that shit or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
After his arrest in Florida, the Louisiana authorities, so this was all over the news, obviously, serial killer in Florida, 1990.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's all over the news. It was probably like the biggest headline there.
Yeah.
Authorities called them to inform them of their Grissom case and their similarities, and they didn't charge him because he was already sentenced to death on all the other counts. But before his death, he did confess to the Grissom murders as well.
Oh, so he was,
got
some closure.
Yeah.
In that sense.
You never get closure as a family. As a family members, you always think, why then, but like, whatever.
To know that somebody actually did it.
At least they know,
that person.
Yeah, they're not looking out for a killer anymore, right? He's dead. He died in 2006 via lethal injection. During his time in prison, he refound Jesus again. Of course.
Oh, fuck. Was he out?
Yep. And like his hero, Ted Bundy, he started a relationship with Sandra London. And you should pull up the video soon, and I'll let you know when to play it, okay? But just make sure you have it on hand. Sandra London was a true crime journalist. Mm-hmm. And he contacted her because he wanted to give her the exclusive on his story. She fell in love with him, and they even became engaged. During his sentencing, he was asked if he could, if he had anything to say at the end, and instead of addressing the families, he turns to Sandra, who's present.
I love this part.
And he sings a fucking song that he made to her. So press this, guys. Everybody has to see this. I fucking died.
You want to share it now? Okay, you gotta just
play it. Yeah,
I got the audio thing, so just it's gonna be hilarious, man. 1 second. Where's this audio? Where's this share? Guys, it's hard. It's funny because you got to hear the song. I've already listened to the song, and it's fucking hilarious. But let me see if I can get it on here. Hold on. Which one am I going to go on? Not this one. Sorry. Now you got me talking like that.
Yeah.
No. There we go. I'll share it here. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay.
So this is during the sentencing when he's supposed to be addressing the family.
Yeah. This is right at the end. So I'm gonna give you the audio. So hold on 1 second.
Yeah. So you'll see him and Sandra.
All right.
On the opportunity they have to say. You have anything you want to say, Mr. Owen? Walter?
The police court could
address the court? Sure, say whatever you want to say. Thank you. Anytime. I recall the day I first saw you. I reached out to say I love you, but it was
That's not
hard
her.
to say. I couldn't touch you. So tell me, baby, what were my words? All my tears run together. Excuse me, Mr. Rollins. Down the path we choose to follow. Mr. Rollins. Tell me, baby, what were my words? All my tears run together. What were my words? All my tears run together, baby. Just like rain.
Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious.
Like, what?
I don't know. I
You
don't.
see her? She's going, and he's singing to her, and the fucking families of the 8 fucking motherfucking people you murdered are.
I don't mean to laugh, guys. I just think the song was funny in that sense. I'm not laughing at these families because obviously, fuck, if I was one of those family members, I think I might have jumped up and fucking grabbed them. But you hear the judge in the background saying, telling him to
Mr.
kind of,
Rowley.
yeah, but they're still giving him his last.
And did you see
Hey.
the transcriptionist? She's like transcribing to the beats.
And they're pretty good. They use a lot of short form too, right? So I mean, they're good at. Like,
Yeah, but they have to
short words.
transcribe everything that's going
Yeah.
on, right? So
It's
it's like
fucking-
she's got the beat down, right? Almost like she's playing a piano.
But you think she's actually. You think, oh man, I couldn't, I don't know if anybody how the reaction. I would have liked to see the courthouse and see what the reaction would have looked like in behind. But if that was on the media too, if that was one of those fucking cases where it was that big in Florida and in Louisiana or whatever, fucking in Florida that time, that's crazy, man. Like, and they allowed that to probably be. I mean, they had to give it to him, right? They asked him if he had anything he wanted to say and whatever, and he did it. So, and that might be
Well,
the
but
last.
if you hear the judge, he starts saying, "Okay, Mr. Rowling, you're here to address the families. Like, this is not, you can't be singing." And this dumbass woman is just going, "Oh, I love you." Oh.
It's a fucking people are just some people out there really are disgusting, Leslie. It's sad when you really sit back and think about it because you're like, how can people live like this? How can people work like this and think like this and actually, I mean, it's easy to think like it in a sense. Everybody has some sort of fucking hate towards somebody or whatever, but to actually come up and sit up with these sort of personalities and that they have in disorder. I don't know if they're always disorders or whatever, like those fetishes that they were talking about. Those, like, for somebody to actually do that, you have to be somewhat not there. You got to have somewhat no remorse, nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how.
I don't think he ever did have remorse.
Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can have any sort of empathy or sympathy it built into you as a person, as a human being. That's why when he's singing that song, I'm wondering where is this coming from, in a sense that he's actually sounding like he's in love. I don't think love is something that he actually can process. I don't get it.
Of.
Yeah,
No.
And I don't get it. Like,
only obsession and possession and jealousy, and he's a psychopath, right? I mean,
yeah, and so he ended up being sentenced to death and died of a lethal injection. So they didn't, like, it did go through. Everything went through right at that point.
Everything went through, but when he died of lethal injection, it would have been a great opportunity. Oh, he ordered lobster as his last meal with garlic sauce.
Well, they offer you it. It's fucking funny.
Yeah. And you would think that, here's his last opportunity to address the families, and nope, he doesn't do that either. He sings his way to death by singing a hymn.
It's a real. At least they did. I mean, at least they didn't take him long to catch him. I mean, in a sense, like it could have gone on for years, this sort of thing. But you know, we were a little bit more advanced at that time than some of
I
these
think it
serial
took about a
killers.
month before they caught him because
Yeah,
the investigation was derailed due to them thinking that Eddie was the murderer.
yeah, threw everything off for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, there's a mural on campus that this guy, right after um, Danny was caught, he drew this beautiful mural of representing all the victims. And when he says that when he originally painted this mural on this campus,
Mhm.
he thought, okay, some graffiti artists are just gonna come by in a while and just, write over it. He wasn't expecting that all these years later, till this day, it's still intact. And the art department from the school
Mhm.
every year goes and maintains it, makes sure that it's the colors updated and everything.
For real.
They also put plaques with their names on trees of the campuses
Mhm.
as a remembrance of the victims. And they also did scholarships in
Scholarships.
in each of the victims' names. So there's
That's
a
nice.
scholarship for Sonia, yeah, because all these people were students, right,
Mhm. This is
at
crazy. Like
Gainesville, Florida.
I don't know how. You know, I still after all these crime podcasts we do and stuff like that, and some of the stuff that we hear on this on these shows, it's kind of crazy when you sit there and think about it. At the end, after everything is said and done, after you've said and you've given a lot of the background and the history of these things, whether I make jokes or not and stuff like that, you sit back and you really take it in, especially doing this research. And I can guarantee it takes a lot out of somebody to do this kind of research on reading how sick and twisted people are. It's got to take a lot. I mean, you got to be even strong for you to be up here just to read this shit. I mean, it's not for the
So I
lighthearted.
listened to three different podcasts on this,
Yeah.
and I took articles from Murderpedia
Mhm.
because I wanted to arrange it this time. I don't know if you noticed the difference between the way I told the story this time. I kind of made each murder a scene,
Yeah.
right? Where I described it like a scene and what was going on, right? Just because I thought it would complement his style and the fact that it's Scream, right? So it's got to be cinematic in some way, right? I don't know if I achieved that, but I tried.
Yeah.
Um,
I was showing somebody the fucking the picture and telling them that this is the one based on like the Scream kind of loosely bases the character after, right? I mean, and I'm trying to tell him about how the eyes are the droopy, but it's that droopy look that he has when he's got his eyes down. Like it's okay. Obviously, the overdo it in the movies because it's a fucking mask, right? But I mean,
right,
that personality and that stuff behind it, the the story behind it is very similar, right? Because that I mean, obviously
right,
they didn't know who the killer was all in the movie or here until the end, right? I mean, you
right,
get it, right? So it does, and it kind of gives that. It's kind of cool how they took that and used it as a story, but also I don't know. Is it? They didn't really say it's him. Obviously, they've never actually admitted it to being him,
no, like they
right?
won't either because that would be glorifying the situation, right?
Yeah,
And you can't really glorify the situation here.
yeah. I don't think
But
anybody's ever, but they
also,
can loosely base it on
yes,
anybody.
they can, and that's what they did with the Scream movies,
Yeah,
right?
because I mean, if they would have had his face and everything like that, that's basically or saying his name. They didn't even say his name. I mean, everybody had a different name, obviously, in the movie. But
So
yeah, it does just it now. I see the similarities, but he was quick and he killed quite a few people. How many is that in total? There eight
yeah,
altogether. Eight in a matter of
well,
a week.
three, no, five in the matter of a week,
Five. Okay,
eight in total,
eight in total. Okay, so there you go. I
because
mean,
he killed three people in Louisiana:
when
the
yeah, when it comes
dad, the
to
grandson.
killers, that's
Yeah,
fast. That's a quick turnover. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to use that
He just
term
lost it, man.
yeah.
After he shot his, like, I don't know, after he got fired from Ponchos.
Scary as well, JT. He says, Rob. I'm scary as always. Thanks, Rob. I love you too, bro. But yeah, no, it's just,
So,
I
so
mean,
the screenwriter,
mhm.
yeah, the
Go on.
screenwriter was, if you remember, Scream came out in 1996.
Yeah, I thought it was 94.
And this
And then
happened in 1990 when he got caught. So the trial went on for a year or two. And from what I was reading, he, like an interview done with him, he literally followed this trial religiously,
Yeah.
right? He kept following it religiously. And then as he's following it, he's creating these characters in his mind, right?
Mhm.
And he's learning about the victims. You know, he got a football player in there. It's college, right? It's all of this, right? And he's creating it in his mind, and he's thinking, okay, this is what's going to happen. And then 1996 hits, and out comes this, whether you love it or hate it, it's one of the most notable horror trilogies of all time. And, like, I personally enjoyed it. I know quite a few people that didn't, which is fine, right?
I mean, it wasn't
But
the
the
greatest
whole
horror movie in my eyes. I mean, I've watched a lot of different horror movies over my lifespan, and even murder movies and stuff like that. So I mean, it seemed more like a cartoon, like not a cartoon, but you know what I mean, more like a kid's, I guess teenager, you would say, because you wouldn't really consider it
It
100%
was
like
definitely
gruesome
a
adult.
slasher,
Yeah,
a slasher kind of movie,
yeah,
right?
it
Horror
wasn't so
movie.
much,
Like,
scary.
yeah,
I didn't
no,
think it
but
was scary.
but the character itself
Mhm.
is like, there's a few slasher movies with unforgettable characters, right?
Yeah.
Mike Myers,
Yeah.
from Halloween, Freddy,
Freddy, yeah.
Jason, right? And then you've got Ghostface from the Scream movies, right?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. You'll never forget that face too, to be honest with you.
No, I mean, like, and you'll love it or hate it, it's down as like one of those staples for this movie, right? And so yeah, so like, I mean, I think he did a really good job of capturing all the characters and getting it all done that way.
Yeah, I think so too. Who's the director of that one? Do you know? Where's I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you who actually came up with that story.
I think it was a Joss Whedon. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can give it a quick check, but yeah, they did a pretty good job of actually taking a story that's similarity and really making it. Like,
and coincidentally, they're coming out with a new Scream movie with all the original characters. They're bringing back Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox.
She's still alive?
David Arquette. Yeah, she still is.
I didn't even know she was around, man. Like, I
wonder
what happened.
Independent movies.
Yeah, I was always wondering what happened to her.
Yeah, she's Canadian too.
Yeah, I know. That's what I remember. I remember that part of it. I think that's why I remember watching the first one, right? And there was a few. Wasn't she in? I don't know. She was in a few movies that I watched. I'm pretty sure. But then she just disappeared off like the fucking planet for a while. She wasn't as popular.
Yeah, like so many actors have done that. Like Christian Slater was also huge in the 90s, and then he fell off.
He's coming back.
And now he's doing a great comeback. He's better now than he was then. Right?
Oh, yeah. And he's a lot. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of girls had that. It was a guy that they all had this poster in his room. You probably did too.
I didn't have a crush on Christian Slater. No, I was always like, I was loyal. I was loyal to the one and only Johnny Depp. I still am loyal to Johnny Depp.
If you're out there listening, Johnny Depp, this wicked witch is coming for you if she can. No, but
Johnny Depp. When I was 4 years old, I watched 21 Jump Street, and that was it.
And I fell in love with him from 21 Jump Street. Oh my God!
And you want to hear something funny? I actually have the collection of 21 Jump Street on DVD.
That is fucking hilarious. Oh my God! No.
Yeah, no, I'm a big Johnny fan.
That.
I love his acting. I love the way he looked back then, he still got, like some hotness to him with his crazy piratesque kind of jagged bad boy look. I think Johnny went through most of his early life, like midlife, up until he was 40.
Yeah.
Johnny was like the pretty boy.
Yeah.
I think he got so sick of being the fucking pretty boy that he ended up fucking doing a whole 180 and just became the bad boy.
You know what? It's true, but he's done well now. He's done.
Johnny's just that guy who can pull anything off.
Yeah, he can't. And he's one of those guys that there's a couple of people out there like that, but he's one of those guys that can make you believe in every character that he plays. He doesn't really have to dress up much or anything.
I mean,
he can keep
and
himself
you know what's funny?
regular, and
he doesn't watch any of his movies. At the end of the movie, he walks away from set and doesn't watch it. And when someone asked him, I think it was David Letterman, he's like, well, why don't you ever look back at your movies? He's like, because I go in, do my job, and when I leave, everything else is none of my business.
Well, you know what? It's kind of like work, you know what I mean? When you go to work, you don't want to bring it home, right?
It is work.
You don't want to bring it home, even though people are talking about it like crazy when you're at home in that kind of situation. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's kind of funny in that sense that how that works with some actors and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't really watch or re-listen to much of the podcast either. I've probably done it once or twice just to see it. But once I walk away at the end of the night, I know I made a fool of myself. I don't need to rewatch it again.
See, yeah. I can't. I every time, when it comes to our podcast, I listen. Mm-hmm. And I can't watch it. I don't know. But everybody else's I'll watch. Sometimes I'll rewatch a couple that were really, really, really funny. Yeah. Right? But I'll watch everyone else's, no problem. And if I only catch snippets of it live. But when it comes to
she agrees with you. 21 Jump Street.
If you didn't know how old I was, now you know.
Now you know. Exactly. Straight up. So I told you, it was a while. Like, I mean, when it wasn't that great when we were a little bit younger. I mean, really think about it. In the 80s, like you said, I mean.
You know what? We grew up in the best time before social media.
Yeah, but then we still got fucking hooked on it. Look, I mean, we're there. We're here.
But we got to. But think about it.
We learned about serial killers.
What would happen if all our stupid shit was posted on social media when we were teenagers? Oh my God.
You know what, man? I mean, I wouldn't mind. I couldn't. I don't think I would mind.
You know what? Off coffee tip alone, we'd be millionaires.
Oh, I ran into some people today actually that hung out from there.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I went to go see somebody after I went to go take care of all that stuff I had to take care of, guys, and I ran into some old friends. I mean, and your cousin probably knows the guys I ran into too. But it was nice, man. I had a coffee and I went there, hung out for a bit, and it was nice to catch up with some old people, right?
At Coffee Tip?
No. From that area when I was hanging around. When I was hanging around that area is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. When I was growing up, that's basically what I was saying. I haven't seen this guy in probably 20 years. 15. That's fucked up to say that, man. When you say that, 20.
Yeah.
15
okay. We can't mention stuff.
Guys, this is what's gonna make either one of us go crazy and turn into a serial killer. Thinking about how old we are. No, Leslie.
Our age.
I'm first. I've been pushing Leslie to the edge, guys, today to try to see if I can get her to. Strangle me to death, I think, because that's the way it's looking, guys. So we said it at the beginning of the show, if I disappear because of all the fuck ups and the stuff I do to drive this woman crazy over here, I'm gonna get in trouble, right? So, I'll be hanging. You guys, like Nico said, I'll be hanging from up the background. It'll be permanent from there. You guys just have me on the screen. You guys will just have me on the screen with a noose around my neck saying, "Oh, don't worry, that's not really JT, guys. That's not really JT. It's just stuffed up. It's our little plush toy. JT ran away. We miss him." Right? No?
Yeah, but think about it. All those people that we used to hang out with and see at Coffee Tip, if we had posted live Instagrams all day, we'd be getting like billions of followers.
Or arrested, one or the other.
Yeah, the craziness that was going on there at that time. Oh my God.
Or arrested. We'd end up like these guys would then they get us arrested and turn us into guys like this guy, like Danny over
The
here.
only thing you and I would get arrested for back then would be smoking weed because it was illegal then. Like
Yeah,
that's it.
that's probably it. But that
We weren't
enough
like
to turn me into
robbing
a serial
anybody.
killer.
Or, yeah, robbing anybody or stealing cars or hurting anybody. We weren't doing any of that shit.
So
We were all right.
So you figured out some new serial killer for us or the next one that we're gonna do? Because I know it's not gonna be Halloween now. It's gonna be November. And what would we think would be a good one for November? Do we have anything in mind yet? Can we give an audience maybe
So
like a little bit of a?
I've got December, January, and February.
Oh, okay, never
But
mind.
no-
I mean, okay. So, but no November.
No,
That's
because
fun.
they're themed, and it's like
Okay.
every time so like I go through so many serial
Christmas,
killers
New
like
Year's,
research, right? So then when
Christmas,
I'm like, okay, oh that's a good Valentine's Day one, or that
Yeah.
one's a good like
New Year's.
Christmas one, and that one's a good New Year's one, like and then
Nice.
you're like, oh November's got jack fucking shit.
Well, you know what? Maybe we'll think of like a Movember thing. Think of somebody with some dirty mustache. Because I was
Oh man,
honestly
all these
thinking
serial
of
killers at one point had dirty mustaches, like 80s porn
know,
mustaches,
yeah.
because
I
that was the time.
I think I am gonna do it again this year. I think I'm gonna do the Movember thing. I think this time I'm gonna fucking shave it fully off for everybody
Yeah.
and start from scratch. I don't know.
I honestly, for November, what I really wanted to do was that Toronto serial killer, the most recent one that we had. Not that we've had many here.
Have you been
The
able
one that
to?
was, I have listened to one podcast, and it was like,
Sorry.
yeah, they still haven't properly interviewed him yet
Yeah, so it's hard to.
since the killing, so it's harder to get more info. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's the basic story of it all, but researching this guy has been so challenging. So I've got some stuff down, but I think I'm gonna ask Julie to do that one with me because she had requested it a while ago or asked to talk about it a while ago, and I thought it would be interesting to do with her, maybe that one. Like when I first started doing killer content, she's the one who had actually mentioned it. I
Yeah,
remember,
yeah.
and that's when I started looking into him actually, and he was another fucked up individual. To be honest, really fucked up. I didn't
There's
think people like that existed out in the Great North over here.
Oh,
But
there's a lot, man. I mean, did you hear? But our city's had fucking 8 murders in the last 4 days or something like that. Eight
oh, I
shootings or
know.
4 murders and 8 shootings or something like that. Our city's been getting fucking crazy. So I mean, that's all obviously all gang bullshit. But I mean, it still comes to a point where it's a lot. You know what I mean? It adds up, regardless if you're a serial killer or a killer or whatever. That's just even if you're just one person, you're still doing it
Like
recklessly.
in Toronto, we haven't had many serial killers.
No, not trending like stuff like that. What do I mean? Might get Paul Bernardo, and these are all Ontario stuff, right?
Yeah, but you know what? That would have been a good
Maybe November or
what's it called? A good Valentine's Day one because they're
Oh.
couples.
yeah.
But I actually found another couple that's even more fucked up than Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka, believe it or not.
I wonder if I type up.
Honestly, if I were to do a Paul Bernardo or Carla Homolka, this is how much information I know on them. If I were to do a Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka podcast, I would not type one word. I know the whole fucking story in ugly detail that I wish I never even knew some of it by heart. Like
Well,
that's how like that.
You've been
whole-
following that one from the States, like that one that we kept talking about too, with the I can never say
Yes,
the
the
name
Gabby
right, but-
Petito's case. So they found his remains,
Oh yeah, it's
And
funny
it's
how they
wrong.
found the sucker.
right? So now, today actually,
Mhm.
there's apparently a suicide note that he wrote in one of his notebooks but I honestly think it's fake because nobody's confirmed anything.
Yeah, fuck you, Neeks. He's telling me. Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah. The only time we're gonna be doing JT won't have the time to murder me. If you watched, so I finally finished watching you. Speaking of serial killers, you know, speaking of serial killers,
Okay. You finally watched what?
okay, you.
Oh, the series. What'd you think?
Oh, that serial killer stuff. So
What'd you think?
fantastic.
Did you watch? Did you end up watching the whole third season?
I did. The twist at the end was fantastic. So well written, so well done. So
Well, it's
just
open, right? It's open to an interpretation too, as well, right? So they can leave it open
yeah,
for another season, right?
yeah. I have
Now,
my son watching Dexter now.
oh, Dexter's gonna take a while, but Dexter was good. But you know what? That's something I don't know if I would rewatch. It's gonna take time to rewatch something like that, and I don't have to. Nico doesn't want any spoilers. Don't you worry, bro. I won't spoil anything.
No, no.
Okay, so you know what happens at the end? No.
No, so that's the thing. As much as I love serial killers, I couldn't get into Dexter.
Yeah, this guy, you know what? This guy hates everything at the last couple of seasons. Ask him what else he hates in the last couple of seasons too. That he has all kinds of
Yeah, but
figurines
sometimes
for.
he's right. There are shows that drag on for longer than they should.
Yeah,
There
well, so
are.
did fucking
So that's
Seinfeld.
why
So
I'm
did
so
fucking
glad
everything else. Everything that
I'm
goes for
I'm
10
really starting
seasons.
to enjoy these miniseries.
I'm
You
loving
know,
them.
like
They're quick for me, and I
I'm
love
loving these
getting through them.
miniseries because you know what? There's no expectation, there's closure, and they're fantastic. They're like to me, they're like extended movies, right?
You know what I like to
So
figure out one day, like, okay, now we do a lot of killer content, it's about people that are killers and stuff like that. But I've been watching a lot. I've been watching. It's called Dope Stick, and I've been watching the last season of Goliath. And the company that did that and got away with basically killing up. They basically got people so hooked they were dying. Giving them, you know what I mean, on the fucking pills. I'd like to fucking do some research maybe one day on the whole company and fucking put them on the spot and stuff. And where they don't actually get,
yes, that
because
would
they're not
definitely
actually.
be for some great killer content because they are murderers. I
Yeah,
eventually
regardless
wanted
if they haven't been actually charged with murder itself, but they are, with all the stuff, they just can't physically be charged with murder because of the way it was put out, right? Like,
yeah, I also want to do a good mafia case and I want to do a good um cartel case too.
yeah, he does like everything. What does he say? Next episode, animals attack.
Yeah.
Oh man, a good what?
I'd like to do a good cartel and a good mafia one.
Yeah, those ones are pretty crazy. You could get into some serious stuff. Eh? They might end up fucking following our channel and fucking hunting us down. We give out too much information. We'll do it
No,
on
I'm not
fucking
talking
Gotti.
about current mafia, current cartel shit. Like I'm talking about like old school completed stories.
It's like the old school Costa Nostra or whatever, and that kind of stuff when you get into mafia and everything, right?
Well, the mob's
Yeah.
always interesting. Yeah, I know, Nico. I know. I was actually just about to say that. I was waiting for you to see if you remember the reference. There's no such thing as a mafia.
Yeah, there isn't. There actually isn't. No. But I was it was so fun. I was watching something about soccer teams in the mafia today. I mean, they get in there really good, man. I mean, they're if you had to pick those ones apart as true crime of some sort, yeah, man, those ones would be fucking amazing. Because so much stuff is based on, so much television, so much fucking movies, so much everything is based off of, you know, real events that actually took place. You know what I mean?
Well, there has to be an inspiration behind everything, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's a lot of that stuff is our inspiration for doing what we're doing here right now with the fucking true crime, right? Is
Right.
because these
Everybody's
guys
already
killed
done the
people.
work, right? If you look at
Oh, bye, Leslie. It's all right. She does this to me once in a while. Push the wrong button. What am I gonna bring to the show, bro? Serial killer or a mafia? I don't get what you're saying there, Neeks. I kind of lost my footing on that one, but once Leslie got cut off. But what the hell are you talking about, bro? When are you saying I should do one? Because I don't know if anybody else got that one either. So, but yeah, if you didn't like Dexter, you know what? I even liked it to the end, bro. You're just not a sentimental. You're not a sentimental guy or whatever, and how it ended. I think we should have a fucking discussion on Dexter. To be honest with you, if you really like, I got a. That's probably the only season of fucking movies I got. That I actually saved. That I got them on DVD or whatever the fuck it's called over there. So I mean, I literally have the whole seasons. Yeah, I actually own the whole set. So if you really do want to borrow, if you've never seen it, I can let you borrow it, bro. But I know you've seen most of it. Maybe you didn't see right up to the end, but when I say that you don't like other shows, you know what I mean, right? And I'm just fucking with you, bro. I love you still too, bro. You know what I mean? But I wonder if Leslie's just gonna leave me on the show tonight. I mean, I don't mind, guys, but without her, it's not a killer content. So what are we supposed to talk about right now? I could keep talking about TV shows if you'd like me to keep talking about TV shows, because that's all I fucking do. The end is garbage. I know. It's what you say, man. You say it, but I don't know. I know a lot of people that disagree, bro. I know a lot of people that disagree. I mean, but I guess it's everybody's opinion, right? There you are.
Sorry.
I pushed the wrong button.
No, I actually didn't. It's just all the internet went down for some reason.
Oh, it's okay. I have bad internet apparently too. Remember?
Yeah.
It happens.
But it's been good throughout the whole show, except
once I get it set up, I think it's like it just needs to warm up. You know what I mean? It's like a fucking old car. It needs a little kick in the ass before it fucking starts working.
Yeah.
No one I've spoken to says otherwise. Oh, so you don't? So they all say it's garbage? Because if they all say it's garbage, then you know what? I could say that about the last season or two of fucking Sopranos if I really wanted to. I can argue that.
No, man. The only bad thing about The Sopranos was the fucking ending, but everything else was fantastic. There wasn't a season of The Sopranos I didn't like. I loved it.
The ending, yeah. They all say the ending is garbage, huh? See, don't you dare. I know what you're talking about. He's talking about The Sopranos because I said I could say that, right? Because I know he just finished watching it, so again, like he rewatched it not too long ago. So, but he thinks it was fantastic.
But that's the thing about Sopranos fans, right?
Look, he says it was fantastic.
Either love it or we
ending.
hate it.
I hated the ending.
I hated the ending.
And I'll argue that with Nico to the end, bro. The only thing I liked about the ending was the song. That's the only thing I liked, man. That's the only part I liked about that fucking ending, man. I'm sorry. But, if as many of you guys that out there that like Sopranos and liked all that, yeah, the only thing I like personally about that last fucking few scenes was the end. It was the song to the end. That's it.
I think they could have done
a
better job.
Because I don't know what happened to the beginning. Like Nico's watched this new show and I haven't had a chance to watch it. I've been so behind on television shows and stuff. I've been trying to watch, Halloween stuff. I'm watching the fucking Trick or Treat that we're doing, guys, on Wednesday, the movie review. So, like I said, don't forget on Wednesday 8:30 to tune in for that. On was it the 7th?
It's 27th? The movie Trick or Treat, right?
Yeah, it's the 27th, right? So that one's the movie. It's called Trick or Treat, Trick or Treat. There she goes again on her own, leaving me all here all by myself. But yeah, so I don't know where the fuck that came from, guys. But you know what? If you liked it, check it out on our TikTok because it's probably going to be on our TikTok. Our TikTok account, guys, the Late Night Chat. If you go to Late Night Chat Network, we have a TikTok account, and we're starting to put fucking posts up. I'm doing creeper posts with, I was doing TikToks all weekend this fucking weekend, man, but they're not on there, unfortunately, because I don't post I should have probably posted it, but I didn't. But she goes, see, she's back. She did. She's been dropping me twice today. I started singing over there. I don't know. You left, and I started singing. I don't know what happened, man. I started pulling a Gainesville. I started pulling a Danny. I started singing. Maybe he was inspired by the New Kids on the Block.
Who, Danny Rolling?
Make him sing that song.
Step by step. Ooh, baby.
Rob wants me to keep singing, man. See? He wants me to keep singing, man. It was one of his favorite songs. I don't know where it was, but yeah, we were talking about the ending near me and Nico. But the movie I gotta see. He thinks it gets better.
I was wondering about Fargo. I'd really like to do that with you guys, especially since you guys have watched it already and I haven't. Pretty cool to have that perspective as a first-time watcher.
I'm pretty sure we'll have that. We'll be doing that in the near future, anyways, right? But
yeah, just let me know whenever.
But the funny part is, with that being said, make sure to check out sorry guys, to check out this show again tomorrow. It comes out tomorrow, so that's one big one. But also, like I said, Wednesday. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna start working on a new. What the hell was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, that's my thing telling me that I need to fix my earphones.
Yeah, your battery. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. I was saying, yeah, we're probably gonna do Fargo in the near future, and we'll let you know, Leslie. And I would love to have you on there if you're available, right? But
yeah, whenever you want, let me know when you want to do it, and we'll do it.
And then we have, like I said, yeah, guys, you're gonna leave me. And then we have Peter's birthday. What do you call that? Birthday Pokemon opening. They're gonna do a celebration, I guess, in honor of his birthday. So that'll be crazy. She's singing. Can you hear? Maybe I should mute her so she doesn't hear me. We don't hear her. Okay, so I can do all the talking myself. There we go. But yeah, with Peter, it'll be actually pretty cool. It'll be Christine, Peter, and Nico. So they'll be doing it on the 28th, right? The Pokemon. So if you guys are interested in that, check that one out. It's a celebration pack, I guess. But it's also, celebrating his birthday too at the same time. Hopefully he can pull some big cards. But I always hope Christine pulls better cards than him on the show because it's always fun when I can get my family to look funny. So yeah, but hold on, let me mute Leslie back. Here we go. But yeah, and then me and Rob, man, we're gonna have a fucking Halloween special, and these guys want me to dress up. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait till the last minute and surprise them, or who knows, man? What the fuck I'm gonna pull off? But the trick or treat.
Don't lie. You're gonna wait till the last minute because you still haven't found a costume.
Okay, you know what? Honestly, I haven't given a fuck yet in the last week to go check out thing. Oh yeah, to go check out a costume. Tim cards are coming out, man. You guys, don't forget that. We want to do that, man. That's going to be a big one. We should hopefully. I think our plan is with that to gather all the cards we can gather and do a special on cracking packs, man. After the Tim Hortons thing is done, so we gotta I gotta save all the cards like I did last year, and literally fucking, open them in one day. Dude, I don't have nothing for my face. What if I take something off my face? What if I shaved my eyebrows and my fucking beard, Nico? Is that a costume for you? I can be powdered.
So listen to this. My mother, back in the 80s, used to just put a sheet over my head and 2 holes so I can see from, and poof, I was a ghost.
Maybe she didn't want to scare everybody else, so she put a fucking sheet over your head. Sorry, Leslie, I love you.
I didn't look like you.
So here you go. Nico's gonna walk into the dollar store, buy something, you loser. That's what he says to me. You know what? This coming from a guy that puts makeup on his face.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be in the Halloween spirit, you dingling. Nico's right. Be in the spirit.
Look at this guy. He loves doing. He loves, this millennial talk. Come on.
Why do you
Shit,
like? You love poking everyone's buttons.
that's just JT. You know.
Yeah, you're a pain in the fucking ass.
That's
Like,
why I have no
oh,
friends, man. That's why I got no friends. See? Turn your volume down. That's why you're killing me back there with your feedback. All right, but yeah, the this is what my actual friends think of me right here, and then this one's doing a dance, laughing about it. So I'm just letting you know, guys. It doesn't matter if I poke fun at you guys or not. It ain't gonna make a difference. So really, if
I think
anybody's
it's.
gonna become the
You
serial
know what
killer
I
one
think?
day, you tell me who it's gonna be, you or me.
I'm better at it than you are.
I look better.
Well, that's why you must die.
Yes, fucking that's why you must die. Yeah. Like, this guy. He's fucking. Nobody. You know what? I noticed. No, Nico's my friend. I got to take a
Yeah,
car
we
ride
all
with him
gotta
the other
wrap it
day.
up.
We will.
We
We'll
gotta
be.
wrap it up. I need to give my son back his desk.
No, he doesn't get it back. You remember? He's got to go play basketball instead of going to do the schoolwork. All right.
He's going to bed. Time to go.
Shishikama said, "I'm good." See. All right, guys.
Well, guys,
It's
there's the
gonna be.
song that I told JT to push up to wrap up the show.
Which one was that one? I forgot. Totally
Milky
forgot. Since
Chance, Highlight Colorado. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm
we're,
sorry for those who love it. Great. For those who don't, I'm sorry I bored you. For those who are triggered, I'm sorry, but this is killer content. If you're not comfortable listening to this, please don't. And if you are, tell your
what's that?
friends.
Colorado? What's it called? Colorado?
Yeah, I think it's called Colorado.
Oh,
Milky Chance.
yeah, GT like Colorado,
Yeah.
right? If that's how we're gonna say it, there it is. Right. Oh, you're killing me. This song. There it is, Milky Chance.
Love this song. Guys, thank you all for tuning in. Love you all.
Guys,
And happy Halloween.
don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. We keep forgetting to say it. So don't forget to subscribe, guys. And we're everywhere, man. Late night chat, fucking Instagram, TikTok, everything. Tell them, Leslie. Tell them.
That's
All
right. We've got TikTok. We've got Shooting the Shit with Neeks. We've got Lewis's show. We've got Rob's show. All entertaining and happy and uplifting. I'm the only one who brings in a downer, but if you like that kind of stuff, listen. If you don't, my co-hosts do great jobs uplifting your spirits.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. Peace. And
Thank
you
you
guys don't
all.
forget to tune in. And here's your Milky Way, or whatever you call it, Colorado, by Milky Chance.
Colorado. This is on repeat for me right now. I love this song.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Peace out. Bye.
I get out like Colorado. We added up what do I know? I tried to push away the shadow, but today it's too late. I tell tomorrow. I've been there, you were kind of mean. You just replaced me in the scene. I thought that we were evergreen, like a never-ending dream. Never been on the TV, scratch me off your CV. Out of your mind, out of your mind. Never been so uneasy, jealousy got me freaky. Out of my mind. So I get out of Colorado.